I don't like those news stories that's scary either, man. That's why I don't like watching the news no more. Because when I was a kid, just news stories be regular, real stuff, you know, like about the world or whatever. But now they'll have little personal stories that have nothing to do with nobody, and they present it as the news, you know, and then you don't want to see them, you know. And I noticed the latest one, they all seem to have, the show will open the news, and there'll be a guy with a suit and a tie, so you know he's a newsman. And he goes, hey, our top story tonight, a lady has vanished. And you're like, oh, yeah? And they go, yes, she's gone. Oh, yeah? Do I know her? No. You never heard of her, but we're going to tell you about her. We got Bill. He's on the outside. They have one guy inside, one guy outside. Bill, what's going on? And then Bill's outside. He's like, yeah, the lady vanished. Her name was Janice, and nobody can find her hiding her hair. Her car was found in the car is fine. It's in the Burger King lot, but we can't find the lady. All right, back to you. And, you know, so then you're at home. You go, well, I don't give a damn on account I never knew her in the first place. How can I possibly care? As a matter of fact, I'm happy it's her and not someone I know. So, but then they go, we'll tell you about it. You go, no, that's cool, you know. I don't really want to know. But they can't help themselves, you know. They go, here she, oh, hey, Bill, you still outside? And he's like, yeah, of course. And they go, we understand you have some friends, a Janice, to tell you about? Yes, we've been talking to some of her friends anyways. Turns out she's a good lady. Breaking news, Janice was a good lady. And we got some of her friends here going to talk about it. And then they show a lady and says, Janice's friend. And she says, oh, Janice, man, she was the greatest. She was the kind of person where you could walk into a room and she would light up the whole room. You know, it was amazing. She didn't have a light or nothing like that. She would just somehow, through sheer tyranny of will, she could make a room light up. Some of us thought it was supernatural, but. And then this is other Janice's friend. Oh, Janice. She was the type of lady I remember that you could always turn to. You know how sometimes you want to turn your neck, you know, because you're having troubles. You want to, you know, or your neck hurts, whatever. But when you turn, the person you most want to see in your eye line would be Janice, you know. And then, if you say Janice's other friend that wasn't one of the first two. Well, Janice, she's the kind of person, you could be talking to your best friend the whole world, you know, and then Janice comes in and goes, screw you, I'm talking to Janice. You know, you go over to Janice. She's a better person than you. It's Janice. And so then at home, you start to get invested in Janice. You start liking her, you know what I mean? And every day they show you more about Janice, you know, and they show different home videos of her, and you're like, hey, honey, look. Oh, I like that hat she's wearing. She's eating a piece of pizza, you know, and you start really liking her, you know. You go, man, that lady's nice. I'd like to meet her one day. I forgot she vanished. Oh, well, they'll find her. I'm sure of it. Then you get hope, you know, and all you can think about is Janice. You know? Your feverish dreams are commanded by Janice's spirit, you know. You can't even think right, you know. And every day you're turning on the news, man, what's going on with Janice? And they keep going, telling, you know, and things progress, you know, and Bill's still outside, and he's like, we're still looking, it's been 3 weeks now. But as we speak, everyone's combing the woods behind me as we speak. And then you're at home, you go, oh, no, not the woods. You don't like to hear that. Nothing good ever happens in the woods. I've seen enough of these stories to realize that Janice is not going to come bounding out of the woods anytime soon. It's like, hey, what's going on, everybody? I was just taking a stroll through the woods. What's going on? Why are you taking pictures of me anyway? What's going on? Now, if they find you in the woods, generally, they find you in one spot. As a matter of fact, exclusively, every time, if you're found in the woods, you're found in a shallow grave. That's the way it works. I don't know why, but I've seen enough Bill Curtis specials to know that shallow grave is where you want to end up. Certain things you don't want on your death certificate. One would be shallow grave. Massive. You wouldn't want to see that on your death certificate, the word massive. Or maybe you would. I don't know. Maybe that would be a good one. What about complications? That's the one that always confused me. I'm like, what the fuck? You go, hey, Doc, would my dad die again? It's complicated. It's complications. He died from them. Well, how'd that work? You told me it was going to be a simple operation. Yeah, we thought it was. You're not a doctor, are you? It looks simple in the book. But once we cut him open, man, a lot of red stringy stuff in your dad. Very complicated when you get in there, really. Well, anyways, goodbye. So, yeah, you don't want to see a shallow grave in any of your, in any of the Fourth Estate's account on your being dispatched. So, and also, doesn't it seem a little rash, a shallow grave, Like after all their planning, these serial killers, they're supposed to be so cunning, so diabolical according to the TV movies I've seen. And doesn't it seem a little rash at the end that all of a sudden it's just shallow grave, It's just, wouldn't you think they'd go to a little, There's like, there you go, a couple of leaves and a twig. That doesn't look like Janice. I don't remember Janice having twigs and leaves all over. Nobody will find her. A Boy Scout ain't going to stumble over her tomorrow morning, I know that much. I'm going home and await the authorities. And then they go home. Now, I would, if I ever did that, and I would never slaughter and kill a woman. I want you to know that. I know I say that now. Who knows? Can't predict the future, but I know there's not a river long enough that does not contain a bend. But I believe right now I would not slaughter a woman. And maybe it's just vanity talking. The scriptures say that man is mostly vanity. But in my vanity, I do not believe I would do it, But if I did do it, if I somehow snapped, because who would ever know, I would plan it out. I'd be very, very careful about it, I would track the lady, Because there's still a stigma, even in today's enlightened society, when you slaughter a lady. So I would track the lady. You understand? I would find out. This is what you got to do. You got to find out her habits. Like maybe you go, hey man, I know she goes to that cheese sandwich store every day, and when she comes back, she's got a big paper bag of stuff. I'll bet you anything there's cheese sandwiches in there. Eh? So then you put that up in your head. Lady likes cheese sandwiches. It's one piece of information. But you take your time, Then you notice, you see another pattern. You go, hey, every Wednesday night, that lady goes down to the gymnasium and plays basketball with other ladies, which is fine nowadays. So, what I would do is I would stand outside of the gym, you know, and she'd come out there all sweaty with a ridiculously tri-colored ball, you know, and she'd be finished her game, and then where would I be? I'd be standing at the other side of the parking lot, and in my hand, what do you think would be resting but a cheese sandwich, right? So then she'd go, hey, what's in your hand? I go, what, nothing? She'd go, yeah, there's something in your hand. I go, there's nothing in my hand. I don't know what you're talking about. She'd go, there's something in your hand. I'm not blind. I see something in your hand. I go, there's nothing in my, oh yeah, this. Oh no, it's just a cheese sandwich. What, why, you like them or something? I got a whole bunch in that van over there. Yeah, that craziest looking van you've ever seen in your life. It's right over there. You want to go through it? You want to go get some? And by the way, if you ever do this, and I don't think you ever should, you don't have to have cheese sandwiches in the van. You know, unless you're proud of your detailed work or something like that. I don't want you to go, if you're a frugal serial killer, I'm the last that would advise you to throw away all kinds of money on cheese and double the amount on bread, you know? Should bread and cheese cost the exact same amount of money? But anyways, I would plan it out. That's what I'm saying. And then I would take the lady and I would never do this, of course, but I would take the lady in the van to a remote area, you know, where there was a wooden shack that I had constructed, and it was silenced to the point that her screams would just echo off the walls, never to reach civilized ear again. And then I would do whatever it is that they do that gives you that godlike power, and then I would take her to the woods and I would bury her in the deepest grave ever. That would be most of my plan. The grave. Like 2 years before I had selected a victim, I would be working on the grave. I'd get 50, 100-foot grave. As a matter of fact, if I had any sense in my head, as my dad used to say about me, I would start digging the grave now. Just in case, because you never know when you're going to snap, you know. I should go home and just dig a big, deep 100-foot grave, you know? And worst case scenario, like my dad used to say, hey, a little hard work never hurt anybody, goddammit, you know? And best case scenario, I slaughter a lady and get away with it. If you're gonna slaughter a lady, and I'm completely against it, it's much better to slaughter a lady and get away with it than slaughter a lady and not get away with it. That's just, I don't know, because I've not done either. You know, I would have to talk to one of you that have done both to really get an answer. But I would suspect, like anything, not getting caught, you know, is the better choice than getting caught.
He passed away, I believe, the day before Yom Kippur, and the Yom Kippur services started, and I'd been watching a bunch of old Norm Macdonald videos, and as the rabbi began to speak, I started remembering Norm Macdonald punchlines, and it really went poorly for me that Yom Kippur evening.
Finally, folks, next week, Jews everywhere will be celebrating the holiday of Yom Kippur, or as non-Jews refer to it, Wednesday.
The rabbi was standing maybe 15 feet in front of me, and I was just struggling not to hysterically laugh in the middle of the most solemn day of the year. So that's going to be my Norm Macdonald memory going forward.
My family comes from Russia. They're Russian Jews.
Oh. Russian and Jews is more like it. One of the biggest anti-Semites I've ever met.
Russian away from Jews.
I had a bar mitzvah.
What?
I had a bar mitzvah, Norm.
Yeah. You did?
Yeah.
Wait, are you Jewish?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here. No, I'm kidding. I love the Jewish people.
Yeah. Last week on Larry King Live, Marlon Brando made the shocking statement that Hollywood is, quote, run by Jews. In response, outraged Jewish organizations made it snow in New York in April. Well, earlier this week, actor Marlon Brando met with Jewish leaders to apologize for comments he made on Larry King Live. Among them, that, quote, Hollywood is run by Jews. The Jewish leaders accepted the actor's apology and announced that Brando is now free to work again. While in England, where he spoke at Oxford University, Simpson had defended actor Marlon Brando's criticism of Hollywood Jews. Later, from his island hideaway, Brando sent O.J. a telegram which read, "You're not helping." In Cincinnati, is Cincinnati Reds owner Marge Schott an anti-Semite? Well, it is beginning to look that way. According to a report out today, on the entire Cincinnati Reds team, there is not one Jewish player. A group of Orthodox rabbis declared that other branches of Judaism are, quote, not Judaism at all, thus challenging the religious status of millions of American Jews. This week, that statement was rejected by Reform leader Rabbi Don Schonstein, who said, quote, our legitimacy as Jews flows from the richness of our Jewish lives, the strength of our Jewish communities, and most important of all, our deep and abiding belief in Jesus Christ.
Baby, won't you come by? Everything's better with you by my side. A movie and dinner tonight. Pour a couple drinks and yeah, we're feeling fine. And make a
The setup of the joke is it's a Jew joke.
Okay.
Two Gentile businessmen meet on the street. One of them says, how's business? The other one says, great. See, he gets it. He really got it. He really liked it.
Yeah.
So the joke is about who doesn't get it. He's Jewish, he gets it.
Yeah.
You're not, you don't.
But I don't believe he got it.
Oh, yeah, he got it. He got it.
Can we find out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell Norm why that's funny.
Because it's two Jews and how's business? Great.
Well, that's just what he said.
No, it's two Gentile businessmen.
Oh, yeah, I don't
That's
get the
what's
joke.
funny about it.
I knew he didn't get it. I can spot fake laughs.
It's Super Bowl Sunday, and I've flown across the country to watch the game with Norm Macdonald.
I heard everyone hates that Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yeah, but they haven't seen the movie yet.
What's the movie?
Batman.
Norm is one of the funniest people on earth, and maybe the most original.
To a podiatrist's office.
A moth goes into a podiatrist's office, right?
You are correct.
From his first TV appearance on Letterman,
You don't look at day past zero. I'm not kidding you there.
his Saturday Night Live, his movies, and even most recently playing Colonel Sanders on Kentucky Fried Chicken commercials.
It's finger licking good.
He twists comedy in ways that don't seem possible.
But one big news story: Twister is the big what do you call it? Movie. Yeah. Twister's the big movie, and I got some news. Apparently now they're thinking about Oscars for the movie.
Yeah.
They're thinking of Best Actor for The Wind. Before the show, you said that stunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were right.
I did.
It's crazy.
Come and sit. The football game is about to begin.
I show up during the pregame. Some celebrities crave attention or surround themselves with handlers. Not Norm. He's just a guy in an easy chair chomping down tomato sandwiches as fast as his mom can pump them out.
Do you want to sit down with us or no?
And in foreign news today, there's this.
My favorite update joke was, yippee! Jerry Rubin died today. I'm sorry, that should read, yippee Jerry Rubin.
That's a good one. I like that. I remember that one.
Rumor was he was going to be replaced as a KFC pitchman on this day. It's true.
Colonel pretending to be me.
Norm jokes about how on the set that day, no one would tell him the truth.
But also, beyond that, wouldn't they think you'd go back if they were not telling you the truth, right?
Yeah, I don't know what they thought. It was all strange, but...
Not that he cared much.
All right, here we go.
Norm has developed a habit for tweeting throughout sports events. He's also a veteran handicapper.
The proper bet is Denver.
Denver, okay. You wrote Deaver.
So it's worth noting, Norm has had some problems with gambling in the past, but he knows how to pick a game. The problem comes when he starts picking every game.
Well, I remember when I was hosting Saturday Night Live, I had every hockey under. There's like 14 games. When they say, oh, just gamble what you can afford, well, then there's no gamble to it. You know what I mean? What's the gamble?
Yeah.
We talk football, then we move to Russian literature, a genuine passion of his.
Well, Gogol was an ultra-realist.
Fact is, Norm can have a conversation about almost anything.
Put a knife in and twist it around your brain. So were the Yoko songs those experimental weird things? Now we're at a point where there's 1,011,30 guys. God damn, there's the interception.
We talk about his career, but it's not to boast. Norm rarely boasts.
It was so hard because I had to act in it, you know what I mean? And I can't act, so that was...
Norm is not just good, he's the best.
I didn't steal them. I paid $1.50 for these.
He's unlike virtually anyone I've ever heard tell a joke. He tells winding stories that seem to die. Then he keeps going and they spring to life, like a 13-minute John Coltrane solo.
And then this hellish facade once
How long a drive was this?
We head over to his other condo to watch the game with his son.
Ah, what are you doing?
Just like before, Norm sits down, opens his laptop, and we watch football.
Oh, no, that's going to look bad for Cam. You got that hit out because it takes too long.
It's no longer like I'm with a comedic genius or even an interview subject. I'm just hanging with a guy named Norm.
By the ref.
I understand why David Letterman had him on as the last stand-up of his late-night show.
He's not sentimental, and I say in truth, I love you. Oh, my God.
He's just a genuine guy.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, and the Broncos won. They scored 24. Not bad, Norm.
That was very sweet, Norm. Good night, everybody.
Wanna get da 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 and get this fixed. Come just da 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 da. Just touch my lips.
I thought my life's pretty interesting too, you know. So this is me. This is my show.
The show is called Norm.
Norm plus one. It's a crazy life.
But it's ours.
Hey, don't you gotta go to school or something?
Yeah.
Do you have homework? Did you do your homework?
Yeah.
They give you homework there?
Yep.
I don't know how everyone else felt here, but Norm was sick for quite a while, and he got sicker, and I didn't know, and I talked to so many people who I was sure knew. I thought maybe I'm the only one that doesn't know, and so many people, he didn't want anybody to know.
I didn't know.
I remembered when he went, everybody in the community we all thought we were the only one that didn't know, and we were so upset that we didn't get a chance to tell him what he meant to us. And then I very quickly realized he would not have tolerated that. He didn't want it. He didn't want any of us to tell him.
He'd get gross.
He'd get very unhappy.
Treat him different or laugh at his jokes.
I'm sick of these kind of characters. I think we should kill Hitler. Me and you, go suicide, kill him.
Right. It was like he died 50 years ago, probably.
Did he? I didn't even know he was sick.
Did want to bring up Norm Macdonald first, if you don't mind, and your thoughts on somebody who I'm sure you've known for quite some time.
Well, I didn't know he was sick at all. It's sad.
And one of the guys who loved him and always had him on the show, is a huge fan, is Jay Leno. And Jay's with us. Jay, how are you, sir?
Good. I mean...
Horrible. I didn't even know he was sick. Were you aware of that?
Sudden.
No, I didn't know he was sick. You know, he kept it all inside.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was a private person.
And I had a really tough reaction to this one. I didn't have no idea he was even sick.
This guy is my favorite stand-up, and I was shocked. I didn't know he was even sick.
For obvious reasons, we lost Norm Macdonald this week, which was just, I had no idea that he was even sick.
Did you know he was sick?
No. Absolutely stunned. Had no idea that Norm had not only been very ill, but been very ill for a very long time. None of us had any idea.
I'm used to say goodbye, nothing new to me. Baby, I'm trying to survive, and I know that you believe in a world with happy endings. So tired of pretending.
Joke after his death, it'd be something along the lines of, I was relieved to find out that I died of cancer and not that O.J. Simpson killed me.
Yep.
I think it would be kind of like the epitome of an afterlife joke from Norm there.
F. Lee Bailey said this week that if the defense only knew what Ron Goldman's last words were, they might be able to find the real killer. If you ask me, Goldman's last words were probably, hey, you're O.J. Simpson.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith.
Go into those,
What was your thing? Goodwill Smith? How'd that one go?
I was just, it's,
on Mad TV, they would often
like parodies.
line two things.
I pitched a thing called
Goodwill Smith.
Goodwill Smith, and he worked at an all-black college, and the the problem on the blackboard that no one could solve was 2 + 2. Then Will Smith plays a janitor who puts a 4, and they go, "Who solved that?" It took the professors 8 years to figure this one out. They rejected it. They said it was like racist.
I'm scared of letting go. I'm scared of letting go. I'm scared of letting go. I'm scared of letting go of everything in the past. I'm scared of letting go.
Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
Norm's tone was distinctive and unique, yes.
And nobody did that.
Nobody did what Norm did. You know what I mean? I talk about Norm in the show, too. It's funny, and one of the things is Norm would talk people, like we'd talk to some strange way, small talking people, and he'd be like, and then the guy would be like, "You're right, I'm quitting the job." And he'd walk out, and then Norm would go to me, "I didn't tell him to quit that job." Like, yes, you did. But Norm's whole world was not just, he was making fun of you. You were part of this, suckers too.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, I mean, you're telling me, he would just spring you in.
It was that brilliant podcast he had with Adam Egget.
Yes.
Where it's just,
Well, I went to Norm's, his memorial service, and Adam Egget spoke, and he killed. It was all these professional comedians.
Yeah.
Adam Egget went up and he goes, "I love Norm Macdonald, even though if you Google me today, it says Holocaust denier." Adam Egget has the first thing. And he went on about Norm, but it was, him with Adam Egget was perfect. Because the guest didn't know that, like half the guests Norm would go, "I mean, I agree with you. Not like this guy thinks that the Holocaust didn't happen." And the guests would be, you could see their angry eyes, like, "What?" And Adam would just sit there and take it. And the guests would leave the show thinking, this guy's a Holocaust denier.
Yeah, there was nothing funnier than when Norm was like, this guy fucking didn't think the Holocaust happened.
So funny. And just blow past it, and the guests would look, you could see them looking angrily.
And then Norm would move on, which is another brilliant part of the bit. Norm would just keep going, and then the guys would just sneak a look at Adam like, what the fuck's going on? Yeah.
And it was it. And Adam, to his credit, didn't. Sometimes you try to deny it. Usually you just take the hit and that person the rest of their life.
That's so funny.
He's Jewish.
Are you Jewish?
Yeah.
Okay, then you'll get it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Half Jewish.
No, I'm full.
Full Jewish.
Full Jewish. All right, then. But you're young, so you might not get it.
Maybe.
Okay, so here's the joke.
Holocaust denier. I'm also.
I'm not going to hold that against you.
Thank you.
I don't understand what complex mathematics is, but one time I was in an elevator with Norm Macdonald, and we're in the elevator with these guys, because Norm Macdonald in an elevator is very, he will literally say the worst thing you can say about somebody and then leave, and you're left there with all the people. That's his thing, one of his things. But there's two guys who were talking about some complex mathematic thing. This is in the late 90s at 30 Rock. And they're saying this, I didn't even understand what language it was. It was a really deep mathematic thing. And then Norm Macdonald, who had never brought up math or anything like that to me in his life, goes, and starts speaking to them in this, what sounded like tongues. And they're like, oh, but, and they start speaking the binary, and he goes, and he starts speaking this mathematic talk, and then they leave. And then he goes to me yeah, those guys are nerds or something like that. And I was like, what? How do you know that? How did you know what they were talking about?
How did he know?
He's like,
he's a nerd too.
He knows something deep, he knows these things sometimes.
He's a very smart guy.
Really smart.
Yeah.
One of those guys that just, he'll just pretend not to know something. And he'll be like, that's and then you're like, what? Anybody walks in the room, he knows what they're talking about,
Yeah, he's the guy that really should have had a podcast a long fucking time ago.
Right,
and I know he's doing something now. He sent me a text message the other day that he's starting to do a podcast now. Hey, Joe,
I'm doing a podcast.
Doing that thing we talked about. He should have done a lot, because he had that show on Netflix, but they muzzled him when he went on the Howard Stern show.
Right.
And he was saying something, and he didn't want to say retarded, so he said, you'd have to have Down syndrome to believe that, because he thought that'd be a better thing to say.
But here's the thing about Norm. I'm still not sure if he thought that would be a better thing to say.
Right, you never know.
Because he's so smart. He might have been doing it as a double troll.
Yeah.
No, Norm is capable of the double troll. It's like, I don't want to say retarded. Down syndrome.
The double troll, exactly.
Yes, he's the master of that stuff.
I randomly wound up sitting next to him on planes twice. On two different occasions, just I go, Norm, out of nowhere, and he's sitting next to me. And one time, we're sitting there, we're talking, and we're having a good old time. And then he's talking about, I quit smoking. He's telling me how he quit smoking and finally quit smoking. And he's telling me all these things. And then when he lands, he literally, he can't stop himself, runs into the airport store and buys cigarettes. And he's lighting it as he's leaving. I go, I thought you quit. He goes, I did. But all that talking about smoking makes me want one. And he's like, before he even got out the door, he's lighting the cigarette. He just couldn't stop himself.
But he goes, all that talking. He's the one talking about it. All that talking. He always puts it on you. That's what's great about it.
But
he's like, this guy talks about smoking. He got me back smoking.
But it was so crazy, because I was like, that's great, Norm. It's so great you quit. And he's like, fuck, I want a cigarette.
Yeah. No, he always do I don't drink, I quit drinking. And it was like, oh, really? Did you drink a lot? Yeah. I quit. I finally had to quit, It's hard, but I did it. And they're like, oh. He goes, yeah, because I got fucking wasted last night. And I said, I'm never going to drink again. I was drunk. And people are like, wait, I thought you quit. Yeah, I quit. That's what I'm saying. He's always...
Last night?
Yeah. It's like an elaborate, Abbott and Costello routine.
Yes, exactly. Well, the gambling, too. He fucking loves gambling. Yeah. Loves it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But that's a thing. A lot of these great comics are, really impulsive.
Yeah.
It's something about, the ability to say some of the crazy shit that he says.
Yeah.
You have to have this hot wire.
Yeah.
It's just you just want to touch it. Ah!
Yep. Oh, no, he's one for the books.
Yeah.
on the subject of SNL, and it's sweet when you took over for Norm, and Gilbert and I haven't said anything. Gilbert, I don't know. Have you spoken publicly since Norm passed about him, Gil?
I think I don't know if
We haven't said anything on this show, which we would like to do now. You both knew him well, but the bartender speech when you took over, and obviously it was a very awkward period for you.
Oh God!
To be stepping into that role, and also a friend's job.
Yes, yeah. It was like we lived in the same building too.
You know how you go to your favorite bar, and your local bartender isn't there? You ask, "Where's Jeff?" Jeff no longer works here. I'm Steve, and you're thinking, "Hey, who's this idiot? I like Jeff," but you still want your drink. And even though Steve doesn't mix your drink the same way you're used to, like Jeff, you still like the bar. You don't have to go to a different bar. And even Steve might feel kind of bad because Jeff trained him.
Did he ever say anything to you about that? Did he ever give you a
He
blessing?
was so but he was so classy in not saying anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's all.
You have that great I'm Steve, what can I get you?
Yeah.
The bartender piece.
Well, I'm Steve. What can I get you?
But I wish it would have stayed the way it was. But, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, Norm is, he's so funny. He was so distinctively funny. You know?
Nobody liked him, really.
No, he had his own thing. You know what I mean? He was just very, well, like Gilbert. I mean, they just have their own, they march to their own drummer, even in a business where everybody marches to their own drummer. They both have that, you know, idiosyncratic thing where it just be like, this is how I am, and that's it. And it's great. But, you know, you have to tune to their frequency. You know, it's not like you can just, you know.
You know what's funny about that first update you did? Here's Norm being fired, as we all know, by Don Ohlmeyer,
right?
Because of cutting too close to the bone with the OJ jokes. When in fact he was doing a public service by telling those OJ jokes. And I'm watching you do your first update. There's an OJ joke. It's like the third joke.
Yeah.
In the February issue of Esquire magazine, O.J. Simpson said that if I had killed Nicole, it would have been because I loved her very much. And then he said, and if I had killed Ron Goldman, it would have been because he accidentally witnessed me loving Nicole very much. Somebody should buy this guy a John Gray book, all right?
You shook his hand once? OJ? Getting out of a car?
Well, I was.
Or he was getting out of a limo?
He was getting out of a limo, middle of the afternoon. And I have no psychic energy. I've never had those kinds of things, you know. But for whatever reason, this was in an afternoon. He's getting out of a limo with a girl. It's spring break. It's packed with people. It's Florida. And they're like, hey, do you want to meet OJ? I go, yeah, OJ, he's greatest running back of all time. You know, great, charming movie star. I shake his hand. He shakes my hand. And he's not even looking at me. He's looking past me. And he shakes my hand. And I felt like a joke of like evil. I swear to God.
It's like the Dead Zone.
That's what it was like. That's what it was like. And I was like, I go, that was weird, OJ. I love OJ. Well, that was weird energy, you know.
Wow. So you picked up on something.
I feel like I did, you know. It's, of course, in retrospect, but I remember telling people at the time, so.
I was also fond of, going back to your SNL bits, Colin Quinn explains the New York Times.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And the St. Pat's editorial and Joe Blow. You look like you were having fun, and the best stuff is you and Norm together.
That's right. That's right.
There's obviously an affection that comes across on the screen.
Yes, yeah, and that was the early days of it. It was great.
I'm sorry we never managed to get him here. We tried, and for whatever reason, he was as elusive as you.
He's more elusive. He's like,
he was.
I love to do it. I'd love to. You're like, oh, good. How about next week? Yes. What day? And you're like, okay. Yeah. He's like, all right, call him and we'll set it up. Next week is perfect because I'm doing this. And you're like, hey, I'll say Norm. Years later, what happened? What? I thought I was going to come on your show. What happened? It's like, oh, Jesus, Norm.
Well, like you say, march to his own drum.
Yeah.
Big show. All my buddies are here. We got
Is that what
Dennis.
you're wearing? Hey, unbelievable.
All my friends are here. We got Norm, Kevin, Dennis Miller. We're all your rowdy friends.
All my rowdy friends are coming over today.
Hey, Dennis. My wife and I just got home from the big show at the WinStar Casino. We flew from Atlanta to Dallas, then drove up there, and we'd do it again. You were right. It was an amazing night by you three. I can't imagine a better crowd for you guys. I know you say coffee's for closers. Well, you must have had a big pot full. You were the perfect choice to close it out. You couldn't have done better if you wore a red hat. And except for the ladies' endless questions about Norm's pecker, the Q&A was a nice touch at the end of the show. I'll also have to make a special trip back there. That video story you noticed coming in, I understand that after Debbie did Dallas, there's some collector tapes of her in Thackerville. Want one?
Well, first off, it was Wackerville. Secondly, I was just amazed as I was driving in on the freeway. Right next to the casino, there was a DVD porn store.
Yeah.
Who's still doing Dick and Mortar at this point? You can literally, they're building keyboards now with a hole for your penis in between the FDSA and the JKL semi, so you can whack and not get thrown off balance-wise. Yeah, you put a little yoke on your penis, and it fits. It's like a rubber. You ever see when doors seal during a shipwreck?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, well, you get your penis in there, and there's like a seal, and, it's airtight, and you work, well, at that point, the makers of the keyboard with the penis hole in between the FDSA and the JKL semi encourage you to call it a flesh toggle. I haven't gone that far, and I don't care if it will get me some money off on my next purchase. But your wiener goes right up through there, and you masturbate, and there's an equilibrium to your self-pleasuring that you don't often find because, you're either right-handed or left-handed, or you're on Jeremy, and that's a whole different thing. Anyway, what's the next one?
Well, no, I just wanted to see what you could share.
That was sweet. Thank you, my friend.
About the big show with Spade and, of course, Norm Macdonald.
Well, I am telling you, the 3-hour flight in and the 3.5-hour flight back, and Spade had chartered a plane because he has a show right now. He handed off to whoever's working. And he called me and said, "Do you have anything?" I said, "Yeah, I can get us there in Fred McMurray's car from Son of Flubber if you want to go." And he said, I'll get an adult jet. But we flew in together, and that's about as hard as I've ever laughed. My back hurt when I got off. Norm's genius. I mean, really, and Spade's brilliant too, but in a much more accessible manner. Norm's like you're out with, Archimedes if he worked Grossingers or something. God, he was funny. And dark. And, I can't, here, I'll be honest with you. I can't say almost anything that was said because it was so crazy.
Yeah, you told me just a couple things, and you definitely can't say those.
And candid. Whew. And the show itself was good, although I do remember Norm getting into it with some long penis discussion with the woman where I mentally went away for a while. It was the first question. To open it up, some woman comes up, looks like, Andy Griffith's girlfriend. And right away she's into talking about Norm's penis, and he's more than happy to go with that. Norm, but he's the... It's like a cock encounter group or something. Pass it around. So anyway, Spade and I are just sitting there clumsily for around 10 minutes, and, and Norm's into another story about the time his penis was in a road film with Bob Hope. At that point, we just gave up. But Spade's funny in the middle. Jesus, he's funny. And he's horny, and he's just, it's like... It's like you're reading Gulliver, but they've everybody's on a EDD drip or something. It's like little Lilliputians crawling up your knee. Hey, let's fuck. So anyway, it was a great trip, great time. Good to see the boys, but I don't think we'll be going out again because Norm's too hard to nail down.
Yeah.
And Spudley, like I said, is flush right now. He's got that show for now. How's the show doing?
I think the show's doing well, and let's remind people it's called Lights Out. It's on Comedy Central, I think, at 11:30 Monday through Thursday.
I guess he's busy right now, so I won't bug him. But we should probably see if he'll come on sometime. But
Yeah,
don't do it right now. Give him a couple months.
Yeah.
He's got other shit on his mind, and I'll make him feel guilty because we're friends. But I can't do that. Or I don't feel like a good
We're trying to get he and Norm on together because we had thought about doing something there at the casino, but there were too many moving parts, so that did not happen.
Norm invented, that was the first time this country has ever heard, here's the fake news.
That's right.
I mean,
right?
That's such a big phrase now, but I think you opened the news, which used to kill me, and you never get credit for it. But Norm invented the word, the phrase fake news.
Was this, it's a little Paul Newman going on down there, right?
You
No,
were
more
handsome,
like,
Norm.
yeah, you were handsome.
Huh?
What the happened? Anyway, no, I did Weekend
Have
Update.
you seen Paul Newman lately?
You do look better.
Everything's good about, you know, you're an Irishman. Me mother, she was orange. Me father, he was green. It was the biggest mix-up that you have ever seen. I'm Scottish. I'm a Scot. You're Irish.
Yes.
What are you?
Swedish German.
Swedish German. Are you really?
Yeah, really. Why would I lie about that? It's not funny.
It's very odd, 'cause
it's a very strange lie. I put one over on those people. Yeah.
Swedish German. No, I'll tell you why it's funny, man, because I was in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
I met a good old boy down there, and he said, he said, you know Andy Richter?
Yeah? Yeah, he did?
Yeah.
You met a guy in Georgia and he said, you know Andy Richter?
Oh, yeah, you guys do well there.
Oh.
And he said, I said, yeah. He said, you ever heard of Andy Richter joke? I said, no. He said, well, most of it's based on him being Swedish German. And then he told me an Andy Richter joke. And
Really?
But I didn't know he was Swedish German. I thought it was all nonsense.
Yeah, well, now this lines up perfectly. Let me ask you something, because it sort of relates to the first...
Wait, don't you want to hear the joke?
No. Oh, you're down to 6. You're down to 6. All right, this joke will get you back up. You can get him back. Let's hear the joke.
Well, the fella says, he says, you ever hear the time about the old prospector? That's how he tells you.
Yeah.
He says, man, there was an old prospector, and he was prospecting for gold, and he was having a hell of a time getting any gold. It was an empty stake, I believe. And he said he'd come into town one day. He'd been in the mine for a good 8 months. He said, by God, he said, I'm only flesh and blood. Sure. Yeah. And I need a woman, you know. And so he goes into town. He goes up to the bartender. He says, bartender, he says, man, I've been in that mine for a hell of a long time, and I'm only flesh and blood. I need a woman. Well, the bartender says, hell, there ain't no women in this town. If you want to do any of that business, all we got is Andy Richter, the Swedish German. The prospector, he says, no, he says, hell, I ain't into that funny stuff, you know. He says, I'll be fine. So he goes back to his state, you know, and he's back in that mine, man, and 6 months passes, and a year passes, and Conan, you know, people are weak. Man is made of flesh and pride, as the scriptures tell us, and by God, that old prospector finally broke to his knees and he said, I'm no worse than he went back to the bar. He was a beaten man. He says to the bartender, he says, hell, man, I've been in that place 2.5 years. A man has needs, and if you say there's no women in this here town, he says, well, I'll have to go for Andy Richter, the Swedish German. But he says, listen now, he says, man, I'm a tough old hombre, you know, and I got friends now. He says, I don't want anybody to know about this. You know, this is back in the old days.
Sure, yeah.
He says,
I can tell by the accent, yeah.
He says, I got my cowpoke friends and so forth. I'd hate to hell anybody know about this. You know, this got to be all secret. Nobody.
I say, nobody can know about this. Bartender says, well, 4 people know about it. How do you figure that? He says, well, he says, I'll know about it. He says, you'll know about it. Andy Richter, the Swedish German, will know about it. And the feller that has to hold down Andy will know about it. Why? Because Andy Richter, the Swedish German, he don't go for that funny business neither.
Well, at least you left me my dignity. Yeah. I like the way that story ended.
Yeah,
that was a nice.
You weren't gay.
Right. Well, but that's not beside the point.
You were raped.
No, it's more. That I wasn't prostituting myself. That's what I was getting.
You're such a horrible man.
We're on basic cable, but it's still valuable airtime.
I don't know about that.
You know, in Georgia, they say there's a whole subgenre of Andy the Swedish German joke. That's what the guy told me.
Well, you know what? I asked you, how are you? Yeah? And you went into, I believe, a 48-minute joke.
Oh,
which
I'm sorry.
was fantastic, but now we have to take a commercial break.
Are you kidding me?
What? Yes! I'm about to grow my beard back if I don't...
Earlier today, the biggest auction ever of Beatles memorabilia took place in Tokyo. Among the one-of-a-kind items on the block were Paul McCartney's birth certificate, a white Mercedes-Benz owned by John Lennon, and rarest of all, a photo of George Harrison not looking haggard. Have you ever seen one when you think about it? In a recent interview, Paul McCartney confessed that Bob Dylan turned the Beatles on to marijuana. In return, George Harrison turned Dylan on to looking old and haggard.
I've never seen a picture of George Harrison not haggard. He's somewhere, he's be-haggard. He's like beleaguered and haggard. Like he's haggard with a beleagured thought. Be-haggard? Yeah.